first, right? First, you get some, some Central American countries where the currency and inflation is really bad, and they start using it. And the positive about that is, of course, data, right? All the governments are now receiving real life data. It's not theories anymore, because in theory, the governments use careful calculations or careful predictions, right? But in real life, that's proper data. You can't deny data. So whatever is going to happen in El Salvador is going to be a benchmark for a lot of people in the rest of the world. And surely more countries will come. When Bitcoin first started, nobody adopted it, and then it became hugely adopted. People who were vocally against crypto suddenly became huge fans because they understood. And I think this is the issue. Look, I was reluctant towards the internet at the beginning. I didn't have an online bank for years because I was still writing my hand checks, because I was used to that. I trusted that method. I didn't need a better method. Why change something that is working, right? Look at equity crowdfunding or crypto, which are very similar. Why change the world of finance when it's working? And it does work, but it works for very, very few people. And I wouldn't say at the top, very, very few people who know the right people, because you could be anywhere in the world and you don't necessarily need to be in a top position. And this is my point. But for the rest of the world, it is an uneven playing field, or the one size fits all type of governmental regulation perhaps doesn't fit anymore, because we are getting more and more in an individualistic mindset. In the next 100 years, a lot of things will change dramatically, because how we perceive data, how we create relationships, how we build companies. But it works. Trust travels. Technology is effective, but we change our way of life. And then suddenly, when somebody is offering you something and you get it, it's really hard to take that gift back. Almost like, I'm going to give you freedom, but it's going to be conditioned freedom. So I think this is the fun part. Right now, a lot of people in crypto and people who are coming to crypto are focused on the wealth increase, wealth placement, and those kinds of things, right? Because that's what they see. They see the coin values go up and go down. If you look at what we are doing internally in the company, and you realize that with the blockchain and with the available technology, you can actually launch a currency in a matter of days if you're effective, or you can actually create a new company in a matter of hours with smart blockchain contracts or lending protocols. That's a huge revolution. Almost like something that in 2008 you needed a room full of servers if you had an e-commerce company with guards guarding it, and then now it's somewhere in the cloud. And it's $20 to host a website in a year, even if you have the heavy data. Those revolution doesn't happen overnight, but they are happening, and I think this is what excites me a lot. And if I'm looking for my client perspective, for them it's the same thing. It's an empowerment tool, it's a money-making tool, it's a way to bypass certain gatekeepers, but it's also a way to accelerate things. If you look, for instance, at an initial decentralized offering, an ICO, for instance, in the olden day, you would do a 3-year project at least before you invited other people in. Now you do the opposite. You fundraise by issuing tokens, which are future value on what you're building, which is the opposite of a stock market listing, but it has similar mechanisms. It's not a new invention, it's just a more effective and smarter invention. And obviously everybody who's running stock exchanges globally, they are not liking this, because this threatens their methods and their livelihood. It's almost like, look, in the 1900s, in every country in the world, we had extremely successful candle factories, like candle manufacturers. And they weren't happy when electricity came. For them, that was the way of life. And that the candle makers started a huge lobby against electricity. That's why we still today think that a DC current is better than regular current. So that's why, for instance, Tesla lost versus Edison. That was a huge lobby from the electricity industry. And if you look now further, 140 years later, we still have candles. We're still using candles. We still like candles, right? But we have a better system, which the rest of the world has adapted and doesn't even think about it anymore. And that's where we are heading with blockchain and the entire crypto industry. I feel that it's better, it's a bit more effective, extremely cost effective, but also it changes the power dynamic. Suddenly, a kid from a poor village in Africa or India can become the next big internet sensation just by executing flawlessly, instead of a huge 10,000 people corporation from Silicon Valley.